talk about I'm going to talk about back to school, but a couple of things happened this weekend that were kind of fun. Um, Val and I got together and we started talking about people's trial programs, and I was just asking her as a mom's point of view. And I go, "What do you think of a 2 week trial program?" She goes, "Most moms think it's too long." I go, "It's only 2 weeks." She goes, "But they don't know if you're going to do 1 time a week, 2 times a week, or 4 times a week. And if they just say 2 weeks, they think that's too much of a commitment for me to bring my child to see if he likes it." And to me, that makes total sense. Because my kid wants to do karate, and all of a sudden I say 2 weeks, and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to have to bring him 8 times. I'm going to have to clear my schedule for 2 entire weeks. It almost sounds too much. So we were just looking over some websites, and I kind of slapped myself in the head for not thinking of this myself. Well, Paul Garcia on his website has a button that just says try a class. It doesn't say learn more about an intro, sign up to see our schedule, none of that. It just says try a class. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm reading about this. It says try a class. It doesn't say free class or anything, but it takes you to a profit generator on Rainmaker, which is a free profit generator. So I thought that was pretty neat. In fact, I was going to talk to my son about all our marketing cards. Instead of putting something long like this, just put information and just says try a class and put your website and phone number. I think it'd be a really good way to get people to take action more. No commitment. I can even see a parent. I know, Steve, you put out a lot of stuff on emails. You just say, summer's tough. You're always looking for something new for your kids to do. Why don't you just try a Krav Maga class? Okay, I'll try a Krav Maga class. That'd be cool. I mean, my daughter's always thinking of things to do. Last week we did this thing called Urban Air. Urban Air is just like I got a beat cell there. Urban Air is just a real cool, like, indoor trampoline park, things like that. And it's not like you sign up forever. You just go and you do it for a day. I said, well, if people do that for a day, they may be just looking for other things for the kids to experience in the summertime. Now, the other day, my grandkids did go-karts. Oh, that was a one-thing activity. If all of a sudden just said try a karate class, I think a lot of parents would just try a karate class because you're not really signing up for anything. You're not saying this is a welcome program. It's not a beginner's martial arts workshop. It doesn't sound like any commitment. Let me just do this and see if it's fun. So that was the one thing that I didn't plan on talking about that I just kind of wanted to mention. Next thing, I just want to talk about when you do your weekly staff meetings, I think it's really important for you to find something that you can spend 5 to 10 minutes on that just puts you like at the master position, and the people working with you are just slightly under the master position. One of the things I do on a weekly basis is I talk to the support team at Rainmaker, and I just go over different ideas. You know, one of the things is if we're going to really have understanding with a client, we have to empathize and show compassion for the challenge that they're having. Well, today I did something simple. I kind of just talked about how we teach martial arts. And we teach martial arts when we did instructor college. Like when Paul and I started instructor college back in the 90s, it was not what you teach, but it's how you teach it. So we talked about being better communicators. We talked about teaching exciting classes. We talked about state management. We talked about breaking things down into simple things so kids can understand it. We want to make sure we don't teach too fast. So it wasn't really the curriculum. It was how you teach the curriculum. And later on, through that, we found that wasn't really the secret. The secret is really how you make a student feel. If a student feels good about themselves, they want to experience more of the same thing. If you see you're making some progress, you want to come back. If you start getting frustrated because things are hard to learn, you start having negative feelings about themselves. So the whole secret about keeping students long-term is to make sure they feel good about themselves. And when I explained to the Rainmakers, I said, well, you know, when you're dealing with a client, what can you do at an end of a phone call to make sure people feel good about themselves. So we talked a little about that. So that could be something you can talk with your team with. It's not just in our classroom, but it's in our everyday dealings with people. So if you have the opportunity to talk to someone and you can use your talents and say, okay, for this person to want to feel like they really belong to the school and they want to come back, they look forward to coming back, because when they come back, they feel good about themselves. That's the only old thing about Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says, have you ever been driving in your car and all of a sudden a song comes on from way back and all of a sudden you start singing along with a song or clapping, you just feel good. Well, you anchored that song with something that was happening good with your life. So you want to make sure your students and the parents anchor feeling good and a good experience when they come to your martial arts school. I work a lot in my church. I work on a serve team. So one serve team I do is first impressions. The first impression is you got people come to church, they meet you, and you're the first impression of the church. We have this woman who's in charge of our team, and I think she's fantastic. Her name is Bev Bonner. And Bev is like really, really busy. She does a whole bunch of stuff, and she'll be walking really fast, and she'll say, good morning. You say, good morning. She goes, how you doing? I'm doing great. And she keeps walking by. Well, that's cool. Well, one time, just about a month ago, we're walking. Bev said, hey, how you doing? And Jeannie goes, I'm doing okay. Bev didn't even take another step. She goes, Jeannie, talk to me. She goes, what's going on? You just feel. So it was really, really neat because she took that time. It goes back to the saying, do the most important thing possible at every given moment. She took the time to make sure she connected with Jeannie so Jeannie had a good experience in church. So that would be a good lesson for you to talk to your team. It's things like that. It's like not like monumental. People kind of know this, but those type of messages are really important. So when you're doing your staff meeting, put some down there, share some guru wisdom with your team. It takes you to another level. So I know a lot of people got on today because they wanted to talk about back to school. So we're going to talk about back to school. Let's find my report. And it figures it's not right up there, so I will. I promise I'll have it in 1 second. So with our back to school marketing, the first thing you want to do this month is if you have people on summer programs, we want to convert them. We want to make sure all those summer conversions are done now. So when we focus on back to school, we're focused on back to school in that program. So now is a great time, if it's students been there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that we take time and we do a progress check with them. So these are everyone who's on a short-term summer program. A lot of you are doing the weekly for $29.95. Some of you are doing a 6-week program. Some of you are doing a 10-week program. So the whole idea is to get the student in the office, just saying, hey, Mrs. Smith, David's been here for a few weeks now. I'd really like to sit down and go over David's progress to this point. So you just make an appointment. It's that easy. First thing I would do, if you haven't done it already, is go over PG1. PG1 is a progress and goal evaluation. The first one you do, and you're sitting down and you're talking to the parent about watching their kids in class. I know when you come to class, you always hear watching your child. It's really one important thing that we want to watch for is making sure we don't compare your child with other kids in the class. Some of these kids have been here 6, 8 months, and of course, they're a little more talented. They've been doing a lot of training. And so when you watch your child, you want to watch your child and his progress. And the reason we want to watch his progress is this is the opportunity for us to work together on your child's confidence. Our instructors are really good on stacking confidence benefits. What I mean by that, they're going to catch your child doing something good. They're going to give him a compliment, a pat on the back. Next time they come in, they're going to notice something else, either his behavior, his kicks, his punches, his blocks, and they're going to stack another confidence benefit on there. And sooner or later, your child has so many confidence stacking up that it overcomes this negative thinking. If you can really work at home with that, with us, we can really see your child's confidence progress at a better rate. We're always trying to team up. We never try to give up on the kids. So we're doing two things. We're going to talk to the student about signing up for a longer-term program. We don't want the parents to go, hey, you know, my child's not very good. I see all the kids are better. Now, it doesn't matter where your child is. Martial arts is helping your child progress at his rate. Second thing that we're doing there is we're teaching how we build confidence. And the parents have to know that they're going to play a vital role in this. So that's how our conference is going to start. And then we're going to talk more about the benefits they're looking for. I remember our first conversation, you said you were looking for this, this, and this in your child. Can you see how our program's helping with that? Now you're talking to parents about that, so I just want to be straight up with this and tell you exactly what happens after this 6-week trial program. After the 6-week trial program, the next step in your child's training is our Black Belt Training Level 1. This Level 1 training is a 6-month program. It includes this, this, and this. I see Zach just look really quick because I changed the name of the Welcome program to Black Belt Training Level 1. I just did that a couple days ago. It just naturally flowed out. I just thought it was a cooler name. But the whole idea, we're trying to talk to the kids now, give the parents an opportunity to enroll on our either 6-month program or 12-month program now and get a discount. So they're making a decision to enroll before their 6 weeks is over. By doing that, they're going to save some money off the regular program. You might even want to just let them save the $69 that they've already paid for the 6-week program. We're giving that back to them as they got trained for 6 weeks for absolutely free, and then they can convert to the regular program. But that's number one on our back-to-school marketing. Clean our plate up, making sure that everyone who's on a trial program has converted to our regular program. Next thing we want to do is before school starts, we want to host a community event. This is like a back-to-school class. It's back to school for success. It's a community event. We're talking to the parents about getting the kids focused back on learning. So we're going to do a couple things. The ABCs of Success is a great seminar class. If you're not familiar with the ABCs of Success, we're talking to the kids about aim or focusing. We're talking about having backup math support of their teachers. We're talking about having confidence and concentration. We teach this through a board break. So the kids are excited because they're learning how to do a sidekick. It's leading up to a board break. At the same time, we're showing the parents that for every physical move, there's a mental benefit of martial arts. So if we're hitting the center of the pad, yeah, that's hitting the center of the pad. But the way we hit the center of the pad is we focus. We have to focus on. So now we're teaching them goal setting. So it's a great class. If you've never seen it, I have the whole class scripted. I'll be glad to send it to you. Just send me an email, say you want that class. Next thing in this community event, we're going to give some bully tips. We're going to give the 5 most important tips about bullying. You can do that on your own. Just do some research online. Again, we're talking to kids about focus, self-control, and how we did that in the ABCs of Success, and how important that is to take that into the school to get better grades. We're going to talk to the kids about treating teachers with respect. It's all about martial arts. I mean, you don't have to change your class because you're going to be talking about respect for the instructors. You talk about students having respect for each other. That's part of the class when you're doing the ABCs of Success. So when you're doing your recount of what they learned in class, say, guys, we learned to bow, and bowing was treating your instructors with respect. I don't expect you to bow to the teachers at the school, but by saying yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, that's a great way to teach or treat your teachers with more respect. Included in this community event would be refreshments. We want to make sure people have a reason to stay around so we can talk to them. And we're going to offer them a special or an incentive to do our back-to-school program. So you'd market this to your students. One thing I think is really important is give your students something to do with this community event. So maybe in the middle of the community event or at the end of the community event, you're going to do a demonstration. So use as many students as you possibly can in the demonstration. If they're in part of the demonstration, they're going to want to invite their friends. They're going to want other people to see them, even if it's doing the student creed, and then another bunch of kids comes up and do front kicks, and then you have some more advanced kids come in, do some self-defense techniques. But having students performing is going to get you more guests. So you have students, they invite guests, and then you invite your prospects. Use your Rainmaker, send out an email to all your prospects, tell them what you're going to be doing through this community event. Of course, making community announcements on different groups of Facebook, on your Facebook. So this is the way you're going to market an event, but it's a way of getting a group of people in your school before school even starts, so you get a jump on this. And I would do this maybe 2 weeks to a week out from school. Next thing is deciding on how you're going to become a partner in education. When you become a partner in education, you're doing things to help out the school system. In return, you're getting either into the school or you're listed on the school's website as a partner in education. So what could you do? Well, one thing you can do is fundraisers. Schools, PTOs, PTAs, they're always looking for different funds. A lot of times they're looking for funds for specific reasons. They maybe want to do improvements on their playground. They need new instruments for their band. Find out what they need. Fundraiser course is a 6-week program that you can offer to students of the public schools. All the money that's taken in for this, since the school is marketing it, you're going to give back to the PTO. Maybe you do a parents' night out. And during that parents' night out, you invite everyone from your town and everyone from this specific school, so their parents can go out and have dinner, do what they want to do, go to a movie, maybe leave their kids at the school. All the money you take in from this parent night out, you're giving back to the school system, the PTO. Maybe you're going to decide, I'm going to do school talks this year. And I'm going to get into the school. I'm going to do a 15-minute school talk. I just posted recently 2 videos on Rainmaker Business Solution. They're with my old instructor, Derek Frater. He talks about how to get into the school system, and he gives a scripted example of a 15-minute school talk. If you can't find that on Rainmaker Business Solution, again, send me an email. I'll send you out a link to both those videos. One way a lot of schools really get into the school system is through honor roll certificates. So when kids make honor roll in the school system, the school gives them rewards for doing so. Well, you're going to help the school by giving them certificates for a month's free karate class. So these are honor roll certificates. You can make these up, congratulating the students of the school on excelling in making honor roll. And as a reward for making the honor roll, they're going to get a free month of martial arts classes. Maybe you're going to just, I know David Hart is one of my clients in Atlanta. And he's got already 12 Meet the Teacher nights scheduled for his school. So he actually goes into the schools on Meet the Teachers Day. These are when the new kids are going into school, meeting their new teachers, picking up their books, their parents go with them. He's setting up a booth in the cafeteria, and he's going to be handing out information in his martial arts school. He's going to invite them in to do a seminar at his martial arts school. He's just building a huge prospect list. Now, some towns have these, some towns don't. I know we're talking to Jerry Prince last week, and he said a lot of schools now are just doing things online, but a lot of schools still have these physical Meet the Teacher, so check that out. Another way that you can contact teachers is when you do graduation, and most of you have graduation coming up in September, make sure all your students have invitations to invite their teachers. This way the teachers can come into your school, watch graduation, and really see exactly what you're doing through martial arts, how you're developing those life skills. Then if teachers find out that they have kids with challenges, they may talk to their parents and say, hey, you know, we have a local school that's partnered with education. It's Be Great Martial Arts. And I recommend that you call them. They have excellent programs for kids, and they have excellent instructors. You may just want to contact a PTO through their website and see what they have to offer. You also may want to participate by bringing teachers breakfast for their planning days. Get a chance maybe to hand out your business cards. So these are all things you can do starting now, getting ready. So you're a partner with education. A lot of people say it's impossible to get into the school system. Well, it's not impossible. If you have a tough time getting into the public school system because of your town regulations, there's also private schools, there's daycare centers, there's charter schools. So there's different schools for you to get into. A couple of other things I just want to talk about in part one is we're going to meet the teachers, we're going to do online marketing, and there's also marketing, print marketing that you want to get out in your community. Just talking to Charles Jarnigan, he just ordered his Every Door Direct Mail. So he's hitting up the neighborhoods around his school with a flyer. Every Door Direct Mail is cost effective. Some people still like to go out and do these cards door to door. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of labor. I don't know if you can do it for 18 cents each. So Every Door Direct Mail is an opportunity to get these cards into different mailing routes. So this isn't like the old type of mailing where you do some demographics. This type of mailing, you're going to go onto the postal website and you're going to see what type of routes they have for delivering mail in your area. You choose the areas you want. You buy these postcards. These postcards have a stamp for Every Door Direct Mail. You put them in stacks, bring them to the post office, and they deliver them for you. So again, if you want more information on exactly how this is done, you can contact a company like Get Students that does printing, and they can do these for you. Same time, rack cards. And you notice I use the same image on my Every Door Direct Mail as rack cards. If you can do several things, if you're going to do the Every Door Direct Mail, you can do the rack cards. If you're going to do a banner in front of your school, keep it consistent so people see the image in different areas and they go, oh yeah, that's the school that's doing the back to school special. Rack cards are neat. I mean, it's just a mini billboard. Jerry Prince and Zach Silkus came out to my school in Arizona one time. The two of them got me into over 200 locations in 2 days. So it can be done fast. If you don't want to, it was amazing how many he did. There's a guy, Jimmy Mack. He still does this. He'll still come to your school. So if you don't want to do it yourself, there's ways to get out there. But a lot of people say, I wish more people went to my website. Well, people don't just go to your website. People are driven to your website. These rack cards or Every Door Direct Mail, it gets people interested. And the next thing they're on your website. When they come to your school, you say, hey, how'd you hear about the school? I was on your website. Yeah, well, how did you get to the website? So these are two tools that do that. The last one is, this is a 2-lesson trial program. This is a window banner from Get Students. Same picture, same kid, just a different offer. We have a client who's a Rainmaker client, Melanie Strauss. She's down in Cooper City. It's on the outskirts of Miami. She's got an unbelievable location. It's 3-sided glass building. You have to go around her building to get to a shopping center. She did a rebranding about a year ago. We did a few things. We painted her school really nice inside. We put LED lighting. It's really bright inside. And then we started putting these banners on the window. She called me last Friday. She goes, help. She goes, I'm stressed. I go, what are you stressed about? She goes, I got so many people coming in for trial classes. I go, how are they hearing about you? She goes, it's the window banner. Everyone's just coming in because people are walking by. And now she finally did the right thing and found out what works. And these window banners, because so many, hundreds, if not thousands of cars go by her school at 5 miles an hour. Everyone sees the sign. And she's really killing it with that. But as we talk about marketing, back to school, anything else, there's a lot of things that work good. Nothing works great. You can't look at ideas that we're passing out and say, okay, out of these 5 ideas, I like this one. Well, you're going to get results from that one. The movers and shakers do a lot of things. And they're not stuck on one thing. They know, hey, if I get 3 students on each one of these and I do 5, I'm going to get 15 students. If I do 1, I'm going to get 3 students. What type of results am I looking for? So, Mrs. Siokas, you're a marketing guru. And I know you're really solid with the school system. If you want to get in the school system, they do it. So can you give us some ideas on the...
I'll tell you something, you know, over the years we've done consistently the orientations like Mr. Hart's doing in Atlanta. Jerry called the schools here, and the ones that had people in them, we're set up on 6 of those already. We're waiting on 4 to call back. But we've always done the, you know, we deliver to the principal a letter where we offer a scholarship to 3 at-risk kids in their school. And we almost always get some of those kids. We let the principal know, we'll contact them, or they can have them contact us, tell them, you know, tell us they're from this particular elementary school. And it's always worked well because I've put that letter in the principal's hands. So one thing we're doing this year, and I tried it at one school last year, and it went really, really well. We got a really strong relationship with that school. Is I put together a three-ring binder for every principal in an elementary school in our district. And not a lot of reading, a lot of graphics and information. So like the first page is the scholarship offer for 3 of their students that they feel would benefit from what we can help children with. And then we just give them a short list of what that is. Flip the page, it's fundraisers for their PTO, kick-a-thons, parents' night outs, those types of things. Flip the page, all of their festivals. We'll bring people and help work their festivals. We'll set up a booth so we can focus on a free community event in conjunction with their school. So it's a binder, it's about 20 pages. And so we'll hand deliver this the second week of school. First week, I always equate it to like, if I go on vacation, my first week back to work is insane. Well, imagine a principal that's really been off, even though they're working during the summer, they're not in the trenches. They've been off for 9 weeks. So their first week is insane. So we give them a minute to kind of get settled in. And then of course, we always do our big, for 3 straight Saturdays in a row. At these orientations, we push our 20 ways to show respect to your teacher seminars. I know that's a lot more than you asked for.
That's awesome. You know, you talk about those 3 scholarships. I was up at Efren Valentin School. It was a Saturday morning. It was like first thing in the morning, 8:30, 9 o'clock. He had like 30 kids on the floor, and they're all training martial arts. I go, how'd you get such a big class? He goes, we allow all the teachers to sponsor 1 kid. I think they do it for like either 60 or 90 days. He says, we even let the janitor and the office staff sponsor someone. So we have 30 kids, and they all come in. They're doing like a 60-day program, and a lot of people stay. So
that's what we do. Ours, we do the first, you know, up through November. And then after that, we try to roll those kids on a regular program. Of course, they've been in it that long. And by then, the parents see, you know, this is what that kid needs. Plus, the principal's already told them, and the counselor at school's already told them this is what they need. So it's really good. We also give all the part of that binder is all the teachers train free. All the teachers can come to the adult classes free for the whole school year.
really,
Yeah.
that's the first time I heard that idea. I like it.
Almost never get them. We'll get a handful, you know, and it always just shocks me. But the handful that we've had a lot of them go all the way to black belt because they get that basic program free, and then once they move you know, and want more and want to do the sparring or whatever, we roll them on the regular program. We discount it, but yeah, it's really good. But we always let the teachers train free, and nowadays they need to train.
Right. Well, they do, because you know they never know if a kid's going to confront them, and
Right.
they have to control the kid or something like that. I really like the whole idea about having the kids invite their school teachers for graduation.
I love that.
We did in Arizona. We had balloons behind the chairs, so these are like VIPs, and we put a uniform. And I didn't do a 3-ring binder like you did, but I did a folder with all the things we do for school talks. So they got that. They had to lift that up before they can sit down. And then I just made it a big thing on the teachers, and I talked about them, and everyone thanked them, gave them a big hand. So we made them feel really special. So when they left,
No, we're doing that for graduation in September for sure, because I love that idea.
The important thing, I think, is writing up a nice invitation, putting it in an envelope, and so the kids have an invitation to give to their school teacher.
Yeah,
Because if you just say invite your school teacher, yeah, and then they get shy and they don't do it.
right. But if they can put it in their hand, I like that idea a lot. That's going to happen in September at our graduation. I love that.
You know, when you think of, most of the people listen to this are kids' school owners, and kids are the big thing, and all their kids go to school. So the more you can get in the school system, the more that's your target audience.
That's where it's at.
And if you can get into school talks and stuff like that, if a kid does want to take karate, he goes, I want to take karate from this guy because they've met you, they know you. So,
right. They feel like they already know you.
I think it'd be pretty neat if you did a booth and all of a sudden the kids come up and go, hey, you're the karate guy that came to my school. You know, they recognize you and say,
yeah. You can't buy that advertisement.
Yep. Okay, very cool. We are going to do part 2 of this next week. So next Monday we'll go further and back to school. But some of you guys, I know Florida kids start back to school, I think the 12th of August. So it's less than a month away and they're back to school.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. It's time. All right, everyone. Thank you. Shelley Baker, thank you for joining us. I don't usually see these on the meetings. And Mr. Del Castillo, it's always awesome to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Convention, we can't see you, but we know you're listening. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.